Are we done with the jet? Why? Why? So as you can see, I'm replacing the belt and the belt tensioner, and that's wet on the Flex today. But a point of an observation that I'd noticed is if you have the NA version of the Flex, your air intake is right here and your throttle body sits right here, which means you don't have a giant air intake tube sitting right here in your way to get this damn thing out. We are going to pick up right where I had already removed the tensioner and the belt. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked it, hit the button. If you didn't, well, you know what to do. I just untied my shoe. Oh, here we are halfway through this change. I got the old tensioner off. I have the old belt off. I will say this, it's gonna be very much a pain in the ass. There is not a lot of room to do anything. Allow me to show you. So right here is the coolant hose, upper coolant hose, and here's a condenser line or an AC line. This is going to hurt your wrist as you slip your wrist in between these two. There is not a lot of room here. And then this I have wedged back because it sticks out here. As you go in this area or work in this area, be careful of this T. This plastic can get brittle and you might end up breaking it, which might make your job more complicated. So let's just getting your hand down in there to get the 3 8mm bolts off. Getting the belt off was a royal pain as well by myself. I sat underneath and used my left hand to take the tensioner or take the tension off the belt, and then I used a trim removal tool to kind of get the belt up over the AC compressor. Now that I have them out, I don't know if I want to put the belt on first or put the tensioner on first. And as I climb up here, this is what they look like. They look, well, the same, except the part number is right here where my thumb's at, and the part number is right here on the old one. The old one says patent. The new one doesn't give me a patent number. Oh, no, it's right there. I'm an idiot. And they're the same patent number. So now I'm gonna try and put this tensioner down in there. So I'm going to start by putting the tensioner on first, and then I'll go underneath and I'll put the new belt on, because this is gonna be a if I have to do it up here. So we're gonna, as you can see right here's the only gap you have to get your arm down in there. And that is the royal pain. Thankfully though, taking these bolts out, they weren't really on that tight. I believe the spec is 97 inch-pounds, but I'll have the actual spec in the description down below. Now I need to figure out how I'm gonna thread this and find the hole with one hand. My high school days are well behind me. All right. So as you see, I'm using my right hand to lift this coolant hose right here and using my left to kind of work this belt tensioner down in there. What the hell? Oh Lord. Okay. We're down in there. Now, the other bad part is I'm wedged on something. What the fudge? Okay. Now that we're down in there. Oh, now I gotta find a hole. There's 3 of them. I think the tip's in. Oh, look at that, it's in there. Albeit very loosely. And I don't know how much you're gonna be able to see. This is a real pain in the ass to film. Okay, so that's just sitting in there loose, hand tight. I'm gonna feed another bolt down to my left hand and try and find another hole. Survey says, I feel it, I see it, we're in. Okay. And then last bolt. Ouch. And we're in. So what I just put down there, even my light here, is right here's the tensioner. So I hand threaded all 3 bolts, 1, 2, 3. If you have a socket, those 2 are easy to get to with the socket and the socket wrench on them, or the ratchet on them. But this one right here where my index finger is, it's kind of obscured by the hole that you put your ratchet in to loosen the tension. So I'm going to tighten those down, and when we come back, I'll probably have the belt on and I'll explain how I did it. So we have the new belt on. It's right here. I don't know if you're going to see it actually. Yeah, it's right here. Here's the new belt. Now how I did this, all from underneath here, is we're about to get really close and personal, folks. So, as you might be able to see, I did something like this. So I sat here with my head right here. As you can see, I don't know how much you're gonna see because I don't have a field of view monitor set up, but so this is how I was sitting. And before I got to this point, I took my arm with its ratchet. Well, let's try this. So here, as I'm sitting like this, I back down enough to get my arm up in here. Okay, so I have my ratchet right here on the tensioner, my arm's right here, and I'm using the hand I'm holding my phone with to start the belt. So what I did was I looped the belt around the alternator that's over there, down under the tensioner, and then I used the hand I'm holding my camera with to loop the belt around the crank pulley that's right here where my thumb's at. And then once that was kind of started, I used my left hand here again with my thumb. So here's my thumb. I use this to move this tensioner all the way up, pushing up so the tensioner lifts to the left. And then I use my hand I'm holding my camera with to put it around the AC compressor that's right here. And the new compressor had so much more degree of freedom of movement. It was easier to push up. Putting this new belt on was a hell of a lot easier than taking the old one off. Oh, I'm too old to be underneath this damn vehicle. Oh my God, where does this piece go? Oh, I don't know. Oh. Well, folks, with that, this concludes this video of changing your belt tensioner. Don't you dare fall. Changing your belt tensioner and your belt on a Ford Flex. Now, this is a Gen 1 Flex. I would assume Gen 2 is going to be very similar. Part numbers, as always, will be listed down in the description. And I have to say, if this is my original belt tensioner, and it's got 200,000 miles on it, for a motorcraft part, that lasted pretty damn long. And the belt itself, when I replaced it in 2015, we got about 120,000 miles on it. It's not ripped, it's not cracked, it's not anything. It's pretty good. So, if you liked it, well, hit that button. If you didn't, well, you know what to do. Let me know in the comments, guys, what you guys thought. If you've had to replace your belt, or if you've ever had to replace your belt tensioner, and how complicated it was. As always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Please be safe and enjoy the rest of your day. Now I need to turn you off before you run out of fuel.